Hey, this is Heidi Dawson. If you love all things health and wellness and style of any kind, hang out here with me each week. I'm obsessed with never-ending improvement, and it's all in an effort to help each one of us live a wildly successful lifestyle. Subscribe today so you don't miss a thing. Hi, guys. Welcome to episode 285 of the Wildly Successful Lifestyle Podcast. How's it going out there? I'm glad you're here. Thanks for being with me and for sharing the episodes if you're loving them. I appreciate that more than you know, I promise. All right, so the definition of insanity. One definition of insanity that I love, and I've talked about it before, but it is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. How often do we do that? I mean, it's so easy to get into these routines and habits of life where we do the same things, we go to the same places, we see the same people, we think the same thoughts, and we wonder, when is life going to get better? We think that it'll get better when. We think when some milestone happens, life is going to finally change and we'll be happy finally, or live life to the fullest finally, or get healthy, or do whatever it is that we want. What is it for you? Are you hoping that someday you're going to get healthy, or that someday your relationship is going to get better, or you're finally going to start that new business? But what you're doing day to day, you keep doing the same things you've always done. You're kind of expecting a different result. Why do we do that? We all do it, but why? Why do we put the things we really know we need to do on hold? You'll say, when the kids grow up, we'll have more time. When we retire, we'll have more time. When the holidays are over, when we have this amount of money in the bank. But if there's always something holding you back from doing the things you want to do, I got to tell you, there will continue to always be something holding you back from the things you want to do. And that, I'm not here to depress you. Quite the opposite. You know that. I'm telling you this because I don't want it to happen to you. I feel like part of my main message is just to help us all be more aware that we control more than we think in our lives, as long as we allow ourselves to unplug from the programming. I mean, we get to decide what we consume in every way, but so often we just sort of default back to autopilot. Every day we have things on our to-do list. I love to-do lists. I have a to-do list every day. But that to-do list, that's not who I am. It's not who you are. It's what I do. It's what you do. But we can't forget that we're people. We have thoughts. We have standards. So how well are you managing your thoughts, and whose standards are you living up to? You may not have people in your close proximity that really have high standards. You may not be around people who don't drink alcohol, or don't eat sugar, or eat or exercise 5 times a week. So you have to decide what your standards are and then set the bar there. And that isn't going to be easy, especially if those standards are different from your surroundings or your peer group or your family, whatever. You're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. And that's uncomfortable. Maybe you have to meet new people. Maybe join a boot camp, joining a group like Toastmasters, hiring a coach, something or someone that helps you hold yourself accountable. Your life is created by the decisions you make every single day. What you eat, what you read, what you watch, who you hang out with. And really the biggest thing of all, in my opinion, is how you decide to manage your thoughts. Now, I say decide to manage your thoughts because it truly is a decision. And I've said this before, it's not something we were taught in school, that we have to manage our thoughts. Most of us don't know that. Most of us, for most of our life, me included, really never gave much thought to our thoughts. We just assumed that we're our thoughts and our thoughts are us, that they're inseparable. But that couldn't be further from the truth. We aren't our thoughts. And thank goodness, because think about how many of our thoughts were put there by someone else, by our programming. Maybe someone told you that you're not smart enough to do something, or you should be further along. Your body should look like this. You should be acting this way or doing this. We're told how and what to think our entire life. But you have to decide, and at some point, we all have to decide what resonates with me. What feels right to me? Those are the only thoughts you should keep. And that's for you to decide. Only you know that. You get to decide how long you're going to let the same old habits and thoughts keep holding you back. Wayne Dyer had a friend who was at a seminar, and the crowd was asked to describe the chapters of their life, kind of describe their life on a 5x7 card. That was a small card on purpose so that no one would get too wordy. But what his friend Portia wrote was so beautiful and perfect and touched him so much that he loves to tell this story. And here's what she said on her 5x7 card. You're going to love it. All right. So she wrote, "Chapter 1 of my life, I walk down the street. There's a deep hole. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. And it takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2 of my life, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it, and I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same place. I'm lost. It isn't my fault. And it still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3 of my life, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it, and I still fall in. It's a habit. My eyes were wide open. I know where I am. It's my fault. And I'm able to get out much quicker. Chapter 4 of my life, I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. Chapter 5 of my life, I walk down another street." See, that story to me, written so beautifully on a 5x7 card, I can relate. And if you really think about it, I bet you can too. When you put your thoughts on what always has been, you're going to get more of what always has been. And if you keep having the same limiting thoughts about yourself, you're going to keep having the same self-imposed walls that you've built. How long are you going to walk down the same street and fall into the same hole? How long is it going to take for you to decide to simply walk down another street? And what would that look like for you even? I'll give you, for me, what it looks like. It's giving up Twitter and the news, really for good. If something is going to affect me, someone will let me know. It's me deciding that I'm a person who keeps her promises to herself. And that affects every aspect of my life. It's also me deciding to be intentional and present in everything that I do. Now, I haven't done all of these at one time. I did them one at a time. And in some areas, I know I'm still walking down the same street and having to decide what to do with the hole. And in some other areas, I've walked down a completely new street. My challenge to you is to decide what that looks like for you. Where have you been doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results? And how many times are you going to walk down that same street and fall in that same hole before you decide to simply walk down a different street? If you need help, go get it. A trainer, a coach, a nutritionist. The best time to start is today. And if you need a coach, go to my website. If I'm not a good fit for you, I can help you find someone who is. What are you waiting for? I love you guys. I'll talk to you in a few days. Don't forget to subscribe and share with your friends, because we're just going to keep going bigger and better places together, and I love that about us. Talk to you in a few days.